Have you ever met someone who always seems fine, even when they shouldn't be? They smile at parties, they joke when things go wrong, they tell you they're okay, no matter what's happening. But deep down you can feel it. Something in their eyes says otherwise. We live in a world that rewards the mask. We clap for those who hold it together, we admire composure, we celebrate resilience. But sometimes, what looks like strength is really exhaustion in disguise. And what sounds like "I'm fine" is really a quiet cry for help that no one can hear. So, why do people pretend everything is okay when it's not? And what does it say about the way we all learn to survive? Let's talk about the psychology of people who pretend everything is okay. Pretending is an art form we start learning young. As children, we're taught to be good, to smile for the camera, to say thank you, even when we're hurt or scared or angry. A child falls and scrapes their knee, but instead of being comforted, they're told, "Shh, you're fine, be brave." In that moment, they learn something profound. Their pain makes other people uncomfortable, and to keep love, approval, and peace, they must hide it. Fast forward 20 years, and that same child is now an adult sitting in an office, or on a couch, or at a dinner table, still performing that same act, smiling when they want to scream, saying no worries when their heart is breaking. It's not that they're fake, it's that they've been trained to survive by being pleasant. So instead of showing pain, they show control. Instead of vulnerability, they show competence. Instead of saying "I'm hurting," they say "don't worry about me." They've learned that honesty about their feelings often leads to abandonment, not connection. So they build walls of politeness, humor, or productivity, anything that keeps others from seeing what's really inside. But the better they get at hiding pain, the less likely anyone is to help them heal. There's a quiet heaviness that comes from living like that. On the outside, everything looks fine, but inside, it's like holding your breath for years. You can only suppress emotions for so long before your body starts keeping the score. People who seem fine often carry tension in their shoulders, their stomach, their jaw, because their body is doing the feeling for them. They don't cry, so their body aches. They don't scream, so their body shakes. And over time, they begin to confuse numbness with peace. They start to believe that feeling nothing is the same as being okay, but it isn't. It's just emotional exhaustion wearing a brave face. People who pretend everything is fine often believe their pain is an inconvenience. They think, everyone has their problems, mine aren't important, so they choose silence. They'd rather suffer privately than risk being a burden publicly. And in that silence, their loneliness grows deeper because connection requires honesty, and honesty feels unsafe. For some, pretending is about control. If they can't control how they feel, they'll control how they appear. They'll stay composed, polished, capable because being the strong one gives them identity and purpose. But that image becomes a cage. The more they uphold it, the harder it becomes to step out and say, "Actually, I'm not okay." When people grow up in homes where emotions were dangerous, where anger led to violence, or sadness led to ridicule, they learn to hide everything. They associate vulnerability with danger. To them, pretending isn't lying, it's surviving. We live in a world obsessed with positivity. Social media feeds are filled with smiles, affirmations, and highlight reels. We're told to stay grateful, look on the bright side, manifest happiness. But forced positivity is just another form of denial. It tells people their pain is a problem to be fixed, not a feeling to be understood. And so millions of people wake up every day and put on a mask, not because they want to, but because they think they have to. They think that to be loved, accepted, or respected, they must always appear fine. Yet the irony is, the more we hide our struggles, the more we all feel alone. Everyone's pretending, and everyone thinks they're the only one doing it. You can often recognize people who pretend everything is okay by the small details. They're the ones who laugh the loudest, but their eyes dart away quickly afterward. They change the subject when the conversation gets too real. They're always busy, tired, or helping someone else. They rarely talk about themselves, but they'll listen to you for hours. They find safety in distraction, because stillness forces them to feel. And feeling means facing what they've worked so hard to bury. What these people crave most isn't advice. It's permission. Permission to stop performing. Permission to take off the mask. Permission to exist without being fine. Sometimes, healing begins when someone simply says, "It's okay not to be okay. You don't have to smile right now." That small sentence breaks the spell of perfectionism. It tells the nervous system, "You're safe here. You don't have to pretend anymore." And maybe that's the most powerful gift we can give to others and to ourselves. If you're listening to this and something inside you feels heavy, if you recognize yourself in these words, I want you to know this. You are not weak for pretending. You learned to do that for a reason. At some point, it kept you safe. It helped you belong. But you don't have to keep living that way forever. True strength isn't holding it all together. It's allowing yourself to fall apart just enough to finally breathe. It's in the quiet moment when you whisper to yourself, "I'm not okay right now, but that's okay." That's where real healing begins. Reconnect with your body, your feelings, your truth. The next time someone asks how you're doing, try pausing for a second. Notice what your body says before your mouth answers. Maybe your chest feels tight. Maybe your shoulders are heavy. Let that truth exist. You don't have to dress it up. Honesty doesn't make you a burden. It makes you human. So here's my invitation to you. Start by being honest with yourself. You don't owe anyone a constant smile. You don't have to shrink your sadness or dress it in laughter. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you, it needs a real one. If this message resonates with you, take a moment right now, pause this video if you need to, and just breathe. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling today? You might be surprised at what you hear in the silence. And if this video helped you see a part of yourself a little more clearly, like, subscribe, and by sharing it, you have just helped another person who is dealing with the same issue. Because somewhere out there, someone else is pretending too, and your honesty might give them permission to finally stop. We all wear masks sometimes, but healing begins the moment we realize we no longer need to. So the next time you hear someone say, "I'm fine," listen closely, not to their words, but to their silence. And if that someone is you, remember this: you don't have to be okay to be worthy of love. You just have to be real.